Fast and the Truth G-Dragon, Kwon Ji-yong, Hangul, born August 18, 1988, better known by his stage name G-Dragon, is a South Korean rapper, singer-songwriter, record producer, and fashion icon. After 6 years as a trainee under the record label YG Entertainment, G-Dragon rose to fame in the mid-2000s as one of two rappers in the South Korean hip-hop boy band Big Bang. Despite initial lukewarm receptions, the group became one of the best-selling digital groups of all time in Asia and one of the best-selling boy bands in the world. G-Dragon debuted as a solo artist with the release of Heartbreaker in 2009. The album was a commercial success and earned them Asian Music Awards for Album of the Year, while the single of the same name became a #1 hit. G-Dragon later formed a duo with fellow Big Bang member T.O.P. to record and release the album GD and T.O.P. 2010, which contained the top 5 hits Hi Hi, Oh Yeah, and Knockout on the Gaon Digital Chart, while the album peaked at #1. His first EP One of a Kind, 2012, was critically acclaimed and yielded One of a Kind, Crayon, and the #1 at XX, earning Record of the Year at the 22nd Seoul Music Awards. The EP became the highest-selling album by a Korean soloist since his own album Heartbreaker. In 2013, he embarked on his first worldwide tour as a solo artist, which included a 4-dome tour in Japan, making him the first Korean soloist to do a dome tour. G-Dragon was awarded Artist of the Year at the 15th Mid-Asian Music Awards following the success of his second studio album Coup d'etat, 2013. In addition to the awards of World's Best Entertainer and World's Best Album at the 2014 World Music Awards. His second EP, Kwon Ji-yong, which yielded the #1 single Untitled, 2014 Inches, was released in 2017. He then commenced a second world tour, Act3, MOTTE, said to be largest tour ever conducted by a Korean solo artist. Recognized as one of the most influential leaders in music and fashion in his country, G-Dragon was named by Forbes in 2016 as the most influential person under 30 in Asia's entertainment and sports, producing not only for his band but also for his and his bandmates' solo releases. G-Dragon has written 23 #1 songs. Life and career. G-Dragon at MTV Fast Forward, Thailand, 2007, 1988 to 2009, early life and debut with Big Bang, main article, Big Bang, South Korean band. Born and raised in Seoul, South Korea, Kwon Ji-yong began his career at age 5 as part of the group Little Rura. After releasing a Christmas album, the group's contract was terminated by the record company, which came as a shock to G-Dragon. Although he vowed to his mother that he wouldn't try to become a singer again, he was scouted by SM Entertainment while on a ski trip with his family. He was a trainee under the record label for 5 years, from 8 to 13 years old, specializing in dance before he left, unclear about what he wanted to do. In 3rd grade, Kwon was introduced to the American rap group Wu-Tang Clan by a friend. Inspired by their music, he developed an interest in rapping and began taking classes. Under People Crew's tutelage, he participated in the release of the Korean hip-hop album Flex in 2001, becoming the youngest Korean rapper at just 13 years old. Although he wrote his own lyrics, he admitted that his English was weak and the story behind the lyrics was just another typical "I'm young, but I'm the best." Additionally, he and future fellow Big Bang member Choi Seung-jae were neighborhood friends from middle school and would often dance and rap together before Kwon moved away. Catching the interest of Sean of the hip-hop duo Jin from YG Entertainment, Kwon was recommended by him to Sean's record label CEO Yang Hyun-suk. After signing a contract with the record label, Kwon spent the first year cleaning the studio for the other artists in the record label and fetching them water bottles during dance practice. Kwon and another trainee Dong Young-bi, originally planned to debut as a hip-hop duo GDYB, with Kwon choosing the stage name of G-Dragon. G is pronounced like G, and Young is Korean for dragon. He made several featured appearances on other artists' albums and even released several singles with Dong under the name GDYB. After YG Entertainment scrapped the plan and opted for a boy band instead, Kwon contacted Choi, who auditioned in G-Dragon. Dong, which chose the stage name Taeyang, and Choi, which chose the stage name T.O.P., were paired with 3 other members, Jang Hyun Seung, Daesung, and Seungri. The formation of the group was documented on television, but prior to their official debut, Jang was dropped. The now quintet's debut was a moderate success, with their first single netting in sales of over 40,000 copies. It spawned several airplay singles, including La La La, We Belong Together and Forever With You, which featured label mate Park Bom. The album also included G-Dragon's first solo song, a cover of the American alternative rock group Maroon 5's single This Love. Following the release of the group's EP Always in 2007, G-Dragon began to involve himself more with the production of their albums. Always featured several songs composed by him, including the lead single I's revised romanization, Jijitmal, which became the group's first #1 hit. Their following EPs followed its predecessor's footsteps. Hot Issue yielded Last Farewell, Revised Romanization, Majimak Inta, while Stand Up spawned Day by Day. Revised Romanization, Haru Haru. Both singles, composed by him, were chart toppers. Having produced majority of Big Bang's materials, G-Dragon became involved with the production of Taeyang's debut extended play Hot, 2008, after which he subsequently recorded a part 2 to the EP's lead single Only Look at Me. 2009 to 2011, solo career development, Heartbreaker, and GD and TOP. Heartbreaker, 2009. His first official solo single, Heartbreaker, drew controversy over similarities to the song Right Round by Flo Rida. Problems playing this file? See Media Help. In 2009, G-Dragon began developing his solo career and was featured on singer Lexi's song Superfly for her album Rush alongside Taeyang in TOP. He later collaborated with the Japanese boy band W.I.N.S. for their single, Rain Is Falling Hybrid Dream. His first solo album, Heartbreaker, was initially scheduled to be released in April that year, but was pushed back to August 20, to coincide with his 21st, Korean year's, 22nd birthday. Featuring collaborations with several artists, including Teddy of 1TYM, Taeyang, Kush, CL of 2NE1, and Soundara Park of 2NE1, the album marked a change in G-Dragon's appearances as he dyed his hair blonde to match its concept. Propelled by its lead single of the same name, an electronic pop song, the album sold over 200,000 copies and went on to win Album of the Year from the 2009 Mid-Asian Music Awards. Shortly after Heartbreaker's release, G-Dragon was accused of plagiarism by Sony Music when his tracks Heartbreaker and Butterfly were alleged to be similar to Flo Rida's Right Round and Oasis's She's Electric, respectively. However, EMI, the record label that distributed Right Round, said that they saw no similarities between these two songs. On March 6, 2010, YG Entertainment announced that they personally contacted Flo Rida's representatives requesting that he feature in G-Dragon's live album, Shine a Light, to which Flo Rida accepted. In support of his album, G-Dragon staged his first solo concert at the Olympic Park in December 2009. Entitled Shine a Light, the name of the concert was derived from the lyrics to his song A Boy. The concert subsequently sparked controversy following complaints of obscenity and suggestive content. The Korean Ministry of Health, Welfare and Family Affairs later asked the government prosecutors to investigate if G-Dragon or YG Entertainment violated laws on obscene performances in his concert. He was found innocent and was cleared of all charges on March 15, 2010. G-Dragon performing with TOP. In 2011, in November 2010, G-Dragon and TOP collaborated to release GD and TOP preceding the release of the album. The duo held a worldwide premiere showcase for their album at Times Square in Gyeongtempo of Seoul, which was also broadcast live on YouTube to promote their album. The duo released 3 singles, Hi Hi, Oh Yeah, and Knockout. All 3 singles preceded the release of the album and attained commercial successes. Hi Hi was #1 on several music programs while Oh Yeah peaked at #2 on the Gaon Digital chart. The album was released on Christmas Eve, and debuted at #1 on the Gaon album chart with pre-orders of 200,000 copies. G-Dragon also formed a duo with Park Myung-soo for the Infinite Challenge Seoheon Highway Song Festival 2011. They released their song Having an Affair featuring Park Bom from 2NE1 on June 2, 2011. This song later went to become the second most downloaded song on Gaon Music chart for the year 2011. Promotional activities halted later that year after G-Dragon tested positive for marijuana. Though a urine test back in August came back negative, a weak positive for marijuana was detected from testing the content of his hair in October. Because it was the first offense against the artist with a minuscule amount, it resulted in an indictment and he was not charged. He later claimed to have accepted an offered cigarette from a fan in Japan during a party back in May, but after realizing it was not a normal cigarette, threw it away. Because he was not charged, he did not lose any endorsers and made his first public appearance after the scandal at the 2011 MTV EMAs with his group. 2012 to 2013, One of a Kind, World Tour, and Coup d'etat. G-Dragon performing on a live Galaxy tour in September 2012, while working on new solo materials. G-Dragon made an appearance in the Japanese version of Pixie Lot's album Young Foolish Happy, along with T.O.P. G-Dragon's first extended play One of a Kind was released on September 15, 2012, drawing positive receptions, placing first on the Billboard World Album Chart, and entering the Billboard 200 chart at 161. This is a demo of Voice Text TTS. 3 singles were released to support the album. The top 5 hit One of a Kind, earning him the Best Hip-Hop/Rap Song of the Year awards from the Korean Music Awards and the Rhythm Awards. The number 1 That Revised Romanization, and the top 3 hit Crayon that went to be named by Spin Magazine the Best K-Pop Single of the Year. The album netted in over 200,000 copies, making it the highest-selling solo album in Korea since the release of his Heartbreaker in 2009. For his effort, he won the Best Male Solo Artist Award at the 14th Mid-Asian Music Awards and Record of the Year Award for One of a Kind at the 22nd Seoul Music Awards. G-Dragon embarked on his One of a Kind World Tour, becoming the first Korean solo artist to embark a 4-dome tour in Japan and the second Korean solo artist to have a world tour, the first being Rain. The production of the tour cost $3.5 million, making it the largest scale in Korean history at the time. The tour was held in 8 countries, 13 cities for a total of 27 concerts and met a total of 570,000 fans. After touring extensively, G-Dragon went back into the studio to record for his second studio album. YG Entertainment later announced that Grammy Award-winning musician Missy Elliott will be featured on the album. Coup d'etat, 2013, was released in 2 parts online, with the full album released physically on September 13. Featuring collaborations with Diplo, Bearer, Boys Noahs, Sky Ferreira, Suriesmo, Zion T, Lydia Peak, and label mate Jenny Kim. G-Dragon and Missy Elliott performed the song Deliria at the KCO in 2013 in Los Angeles. 6 tracks from Coup d'etat placed within the top 10 of the Gaon Digital Chart, including the number 1, Who You. Nigomund. The album entered the Billboard 200. Making G-Dragon the first Korean act to have multiples entries in the chart. The success of Coup d'etat led to G-Dragon winning a total of 4 awards at the 15th Mid-Asian Music Awards, Best Male Solo Artist, Best Music Video for Coup d'etat, Best Dance Performance for Crooked, and the highest award, Artist of the Year. He later took home the World's Best Entertainer and World's Best Album at the World Music Awards. For a second time, G-Dragon participated in the Infinite Challenge Music Festival, held on October 17, 2013 in Incheongguk, by contributing the song Going to Try, a duet with comedian Jang Hyun-don. 2014 to 2016, collaborations, fashion and contemporary art. G-Dragon became a face of Airbnb for Asia in 2015. In November 2014, G-Dragon collaborated with Taeyang for the song Good Boy, which reached number 1 on Billboard's World Digital Songs chart, marking the 3rd time a Korean act had topped the chart after PSY in 2021. The single had over 1.2 million downloads in South Korea. In December of the same year, G-Dragon collaborated with Skrillex and Diplo for the song Dirty Vibe, also featuring his label mate CL. The single charted at number 19 on Billboard's Hot Dance Electronic Songs. G-Dragon also partnered with Chow Tai Fook Enterprises Jewelry and launched a new collection designed by himself. Though he spent the majority of 2015 and 2016 touring with his band for their 3rd Korean album, G-Dragon started an art exhibition in 2015 under the name Peace Monotone, Beyond the Stage. The exhibition features 200 works of art from 12 domestic and international artists including Michael Scoggins, Sophie Clements and James Clark. Having worked on the exhibition for over a year, its aim is to bring the modern art and pop culture together in order to introduce domestic artists to the public, who are unfamiliar with art or who find art unapproachable. 70. The show was held on Seoul, South Korea from June 6 and ran through August 23, and traveled to Shanghai and Singapore. He also became the face of Airbnb in the Asian market in August 2015. That same year, he participated in the Infinite Challenge music contest for the third time in a row, this time with Taeyang. The duo teamed up with Z.A.'s Hwang Kwon-ji and released the single Mapsosa, peaking at number 2 on the Gaon digital chart. In 2016, he was featured in Batter's song Temple from his debut album Allah along with British rapper G-Dragon. Also started endorsing Shinsegae. His merchandises were reported to take up over 49% of the entire sales in the department store. The rapper launched several fashion projects throughout 2016. He collaborated with the brand 8 Seconds, part of the Samsung C&T fashion group, being part of the creative and production process. The collection featured innovative genderless designs, suitable for both men and women. He also became the ambassador for Chanel in Korea. Additionally, he started his personal fashion brand called Peace Eminison as an online store, with a collection that includes tees, caps and jewelry. Later, the line was launched as a physical store at the Dover Street Market in London. 2017-present, Kwon Ji-yong and Second World Tour. G-Dragon was featured on Zion-T's song Complex for his album OO, 2017, 80, which charted at number 2 on the Gaon digital chart. He also served as a guest rapper for IU's single Palette, for her album of the same name which topped Gaon for 2 consecutive weeks. After promotional activities wrapped up, G-Dragon began preparing materials for his solo comeback, along with a new concert tour. The single Bullshit was set to serve as the lead single to precede the release of his second self-titled EP. Amid bandmate T.O.P's marijuana scandal and the prior single's provocative name, Untitled, 2014 Inches was serviced to radio instead to avoid further controversy for the artist's record label. Forgoing the traditional method of CDs, Kwon Ji-yong was released in USB flash drive format on June 8, drawing criticisms over whether or not it should be labeled as an official album. The release saw him topping iTunes charts in 45 countries, the most by any Korean album, including the US iTunes chart. Kwon Ji-yong also topped the iTunes Worldwide Album and European iTunes charts, making him the first Korean soloist to do so. 88. The EP debuted at number 192 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling 4,000 copies in one day. It also topped the Billboard's World Albums and Heatseekers Albums charts. In China, the album surpassed 760,000 digital units sold a day after its release, and 1 million copies sold within a week. Selling 11,641 copies. Japan, the EP topped Oricon Weekly Digital Chart, making G-Dragon the first Korean artist to do so. To promote the EP, he commenced the Act 3, MOTTE World Tour, starting with a concert at the Seoul World Cup Stadium on June 10 and visiting 29 cities across Asia, North America, Europe and Oceania. Artistry. Haru Haru, 2008, MENUOOO, Big Bang's single Haru Haru, one of the best-selling Korean songs ever at the time of its release, was composed by G-Dragon. Problems playing this file? See Media Help. Inspired by the music of Wu-Tang Clan and citing American singer Pharrell Williams as his musical hero, G-Dragon participated in the annual Hip Hop Flex album in 2001 at the age of 12, establishing his career as an artist. He has also listed Jin Eugene, Fabulous and Kanye West as his influences. During the early days of Big Bang's career, the band was marketed predominantly as a hip-hop group, though they went on to experiment with electronic music and setting it as the new music trend in Korea. From previous exposure to a range of genres with Big Bang, G-Dragon incorporated a mix of dance, hip-hop, and R&B songs into Heartbreaker during the production for the collaboration album GD and T.O.P. G-Dragon opted for a more hip-hop sound, though he acknowledges that R&B, acoustic, and electronic music heavily influenced it. His second album, Coup d'etat, is noted for being an eclectic mix of hip-hop, dubstep, rock, electro, and pop. I have this disease-like need to try to create something new. When you're kind of being chased, and everything you do goes so well, you develop this sickness and a sense of need to constantly do something different. G-Dragon. Since becoming a solo artist, G-Dragon has maintained tight control over his music, stating that each feeling in creating the music is different, using his emotions to direct the lyrical content in the composition of his songs. The Guardian noted that his songs stand out for more in-depth themes including self-destruction and narcissism. Additionally, Billboard K-Town described his productions as large-scale, dramatic and infused with his personality. Spin also wrote that G-Dragon's music is daring by K-pop standards, wildly innovative by any standard, and that the rapper seems unafraid of constantly pushing forward. The lyrics in his song A Boy was in response to the negative criticisms surrounding his 2009 plagiarism controversy, with the artist refusing to give up on his career despite the setbacks. From Coup d'etat, Nileria was noted for sounding ethnic and surrealist, while Crooked was created to express his natural punk attitude. Preferring to pen lyrics that sound like an actual story, G-Dragon has said he injects throughout his songwriting process a sense of eeriness, writing songs that resemble horror films, like She's Gone, Window and That. Prior to his establishment as a solo artist, he was also involved with the production of Big Bang's albums, writing and composing the majority of their songs. Big Bang's song If You was inspired during a time when the artist was in love. Bye-Bye was inspired by the work of British artist Francis Bacon and the eroticism in his paintings, while Loser was written in an attempt to humanize the group to distinguish himself from other artists and composers. G-Dragon admits to giving twist and turn at every corner and evoking a different story with each part of his music, acknowledging that although the chorus is the catchiest part of the song, he wants all the parts to a song to be remembered. Aside from producing songs for his own band, G-Dragon has also produced for other artists, including bandmates Taeyang, Seungri and Daesung, and YG Entertainment label mates Icon. Public image. G-Dragon in stage outfit for Big Bang's Alive tour in 2012, known for reinventing his style and image, and often described as the most fashionable one in Big Bang. G-Dragon is noted for maintaining tight control over his career and opposes the idea of singers as products of the entertainment industry. This version is strictly for demonstration purposes only. The right kind of music is not made once the artist feels that music is work. When one is working on music, performing or just having fun, it directly influences the music. The more I work, the more I feel like I'm learning and maturing at the same time. G-Dragon. While promoting Heartbreaker, his change in hairstyle by dyeing it blonde gained popularity among his fans and became one of the top hairstyles of the year. He has consistently altered his hair throughout the years, ranging from various shades of colors to different cuts. Additionally, his constant sporting of triangular scarves became a trend among teenagers and were later nicknamed the Big Bang scarves. G-Dragon is noted for his androgynous appearance, with the Korea Jungang Daily calling him a notable star fashioning genderless style, noting how his image deviates from the fixed gender type of men and women. When he collaborated with Italian footwear designer Giuseppe Zanotti to launch a limited edition collection of men's and women's shoes, he stated that it's not just girls or women who get excited and worked up over pretty shoes. Youies can feel that way too. G-Dragon's fashion has been described as quirky and experimental by Roshali Power of the International Business Times, while Taylor Glasby from the British magazine Dazed and Confused characterized GD's style as fluid and far-reaching, calling him a natural style chameleon. Monica Kim from Vogue magazine admired his uncanny knack for larger-than-life style that remains wearably cool. He has covered various issues of W, Dazed, Vogue, and landed editorials in Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Esquire, among other Asian magazines. Initially, G-Dragon admitted to being self-conscious of his role as a musician, noting how he had changed many things including the tone of my voice because I was conscious about my job when I was in front of others. Aware that his public image is important when promoting his materials, G-Dragon notes that, what the public perceives of is my doing, so it's my fault if I give off the wrong intention. In recent years, he has become more relaxed, stating that now he doesn't do music or dress up in order to impress people around me. I don't try to be conscious about music and fashion. Despite his success as a solo artist and leader of Big Bang, G-Dragon has admitted that he didn't realize how famous he was until he went on Big Bang's world tour. The rapper has used his image to raise awareness for multiple causes, including the UN Refugee Agency and the Red Campaign to fight AIDS. Additionally, in May 2017, a citrus tree forest was officially opened in the city of Siargao on Jeju Island, named after G-Dragon's real name, Kwon Ji-yong. The fruit harvested from the forest will be donated to charity events. He was chosen by The Chosen Ilbo as the Best Dressed Celebrity of 2012, while in 2014, he was chosen as one of the Best Dressed Street Style Stars of the Year by New York. G-Dragon was included in the 2015 and 2016 Business of Fashion's 500 Global Fashion Leaders lists, making him one of 5 Koreans on the list, and the only K-pop act to have made the cut. He was also the only Korean in Hypebeast's 100 Innovators list. Personal life. In 2012, G-Dragon built a pension hotel as a gift to his family. Fans can also stay at this hotel, which is now run as a business by his parents. On October 20, 2015, G-Dragon officially opened his first cafe, under the name of Monsoon Cafe. The cafe is located on Jeju Island. The South Korean indie band Hyukoh was the first artist to play at the cafe in September 2015. Legacy. Described as a genius singer-songwriter by the Korea Times, G-Dragon's role in producing many of Big Bang's material so early in their career was considered unusual at the time, as most K-pop bands are manufactured instead of self-produced. Speculations were raised by netizens over how much the rapper actually produced, especially after the release of Last Farewell. Yang Hyun-suk, founder and CEO of YG Entertainment, went on to clarify that G-Dragon wrote and composed the song, with arrangements done by longtime collaborator Brave Brothers. His involvement has shaped how new bands interact with their music, with the Korea Times acknowledging how his unprecedented popularity and recognition has inspired many young idol wannabes to become singer-songwriters. His effort won him praise as one of the best composers of 2008, with many pop culture critics and industry representatives choosing him as the musician whose future they anticipate the most. A noted perfectionist who was very critical during recording sessions, the rapper also topped the Forbes list of most hardworking idol, and made it into its list of Korea 2030 power leaders. G-Dragon's work has influenced numerous artists, including GOT7's Bam Bam, Dakota Fanning, Jaden Smith, Yuna, Victon, SF9's Dawon Lee Seung Ji-hwan and Grimes, who states that K-pop, in particular G-Dragon, has influenced her musical style more visually than anything else. Additionally, he received admiration from multiple senior singers. Lee Seung Ji points to G-Dragon as one of the young artists he looks forward to. 168, while Wee Sung highlighted his great talent to completely understand the dance and music that he's learned and lead half a step in front of everyone. Producer and rapper Cho PD expressed his appreciation for Big Bang, crediting G-Dragon for the group's growth. The Korea Music Copyright Association lists over 150 songs under G-Dragon's name, and in 2015, G-Dragon's annual earnings from song royalties was estimated to be over $700,000 a year. He is the highest-paid touring singer-songwriter in Korea, as well as the youngest to be mentioned on a list of South Korean composers earning the most from songwriting royalties. In 2012, G-Dragon's influence on Korean music and fashion made him be highlighted as one of the 50 reasons why Seoul is the best city by CNN in 2011, while in 2013, be the highest-ranking artist in the most influential entities of K-pop list by news agency Ilgan Sports. In 2016, G-Dragon was chosen as one of the top 10 most influential celebrities in China by Chinese media outlet Sina, and became the first international artist to be placed within the top 10 of Sina's most influential stars rankings. Awards and achievements. Main article, list of awards and nominations received by G-Dragon. See also, list of awards and nominations received by Big Bang. G-Dragon has won 2 Golden Disc Awards, 2 Korean Music Awards, 2 MBC Entertainment Awards, 2 World Music Awards, 7 Mid Asian Music Awards, 6 Melon Music Awards, among several other awards. In 2008, G-Dragon was honored with the award for Most Influential Man of the Year sponsored by Arena magazine, and in 2013, He was awarded the Style Icon of the Year award at the Style Icon Asia, being the first solo singer to win the award undivided. He was chosen by GQ Korea as their Man of the Year in 2015. Additionally, G-Dragon was honored at the 2016 Pop Culture and Arts Awards, held by the Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, being recognized for his influence and success on music and fashion. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to watch the next video.